one game in that one tournament, right? Didn't the Lions draw against somebody? It was like in some Chinese tournament.
Serious?
That's not going to happen.
All right, it's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen here. We need to determine one last thing, and that is Group A, who's going to be in the upper bracket, who's going to be in the lower bracket, who gets second, who gets third, and this is a very important match because it's the difference of being stuck in best of threes or going through the gauntlet of deadly best of ones. We have a draft happening right now between Liquid and Vici Gaming. Let's go ahead and hop into the draft so we can see exactly how it's going to unfold, and this tiebreaker is a best of one. So let's get in that draft. What did you say, huh?
I don't know if we have a draft open.
No? We don't have a draft? Can't go in the draft right
I think
now?
we have to do Dota TV drafting.
Having a bit of lag, unfortunately. Well, I can tell you verbally here on Dota Radio that Team Liquid have banned out the Alchemist, Tusk, and here it comes, baby.
Hey.
Hey. They pick up the famous Vici Gaming Undying with their first pick, but that means that Vici Gaming are able to get a hold of the Darkseer Spirit Breaker combo. And Queen of Pain's going to be the second grab. By the way, gentlemen, I'm very sorry I didn't get to introduce you. We have Lumi and Winter on the panel, the twins. How you doing, guys?
The twins?
How do we even look anything alike? Okay, we look pretty alike from afar.
Come on, guys.
We are roommates. All right.
Do you share a bed?
No, we don't.
Captain
Winter
Correct.
snores really loudly.
What?
You do. I need
For a little
earplugs.
man.
Yeah, he does.
All right, guys. First impressions at the head start here for Liquid, Undying, Queen of Pain, Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, and Vici Gaming. Who's off to a good start here?
10 seconds remaining.
Who's off to a good start from the 4 picks?
I mean, there is a bit of a metagame in itself at the start of the draft. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, I like Darkseer and Spirit Breaker when paired together.
Of course.
There's a lot of early game roaming potential, and I think it really taxes your support draft. For example, if you have a weak support, like an Ancient Apparition, you put a shell on the Spirit Breaker, and the AA just dies. We got Winter with us now.
Hey, Winter. Thank you for turning your microphone on.
Man, I just got on. I had a nap before this.
Oh, you were napping. That must have been nice.
10 seconds
That must have been
remaining.
real nice. Well, welcome back.
Except for the fact that it
5
went too
seconds
cold.
remaining.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here we go, third pick coming out for Vici Gaming here.
They might have the the Iron Shell on the Spirit Breaker. What?
Getting delirious at this point.
They might have the Iron Shell on the Spirit Breaker, but Undying and Queen of Pain is also, I think, overall is much solid opening. They have Tombstone, they have Sonic Wave, a lot of team fight capabilities. They have good laning phase as well. That's what Undying and Queen provide you.
Winter Wyvern coming out. The Dragon.
I think right now they're looking for a secondary lockdown against Queen of Pain. I mean, at least from the support room. Gives you decent laning. I think obviously neither of his team has really kind of unveiled their big strategy yet.
Yeah,
so
these are boring. This is
that's exactly it. I was going to say that.
Oh, I'm not afraid at this
Yeah.
point.
I'm
It's
not
been a
worried.
long day of Dota.
I'm not worried about boring. I'm just worried about
Okay, you
what
know
is
what?
effective.
It
You know,
doesn't
you
matter.
get the
Yeah,
job
I mean,
done.
Guys,
yeah.
real fast.
Okay.
We got to look at the previous screen. They haven't drafted Wyvern yet.
Remaining.
Oh, I think they might go for a Wyvern on Vici Gaming.
Oh,
That would be perfect
what
here.
is
You
that?
gotta
After a slug
consider-
ban. After a slug ban.
Yeah. Slug
Dude,
cannot be on the
that
field.
Dota TV?
That's Dota TV.
Oh.
All right, so
Reserve
just
time.
let's.
All right, we're going to just draft from
Yeah.
there. But we know what's happening there.
We can use this to our advantage, guys. So anyways, Vici Gaming, they probably would do pretty well if they can sync something together with that vacuum, you know, like a Winter's Curse or something like that. Defensive support adds that bit of sustain there.
I like where you're coming at.
I think this is going to work.
I think a strong counter to the Winter Wyvern
Yeah?
will be the Bane.
Bane.
Doesn't really make a lot of sense if you ask me.
That seems pretty out there, but you know what? Liquid have gone to it from time to time, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Fiends gripping a cold embrace target sounds cool.
Does it?
Yeah, you do
Does it
damage.
sound cool because that was
It's
a pun?
literally cool.
That was a pun.
10 seconds.
Winner, my man.
Got him.
I'm starting to rub off on you, and I like it. They really take this long to pick the Wyvern?
They did.
All right, well,
The more impressive thing is we BS'd around for that long.
I don't know how.
Now we're trying to go back in time, and it's just like,
Did they really use that much of their reserve time?
they did.
Oh, you're right, they did. Vici Gaming were really sweating out the clock for this one. God, who could we get? Maybe they're plotting out the whole draft from that third pick on. Oh, there it is. Good job, guys. Winter Wyvern. Now, Lumi, you said possibly the Bane would be a solid third choice here.
Yeah. Gripping through that cold embrace is a cool thing to do.
Well, Is it also just for the fact that he's so good at being able to zone in the lane? And back in the day, it was like Bane felt like a bit of a niche pick if you were going against big BKB candidates, you know, like a gyrocopter and stuff, just so you have that guaranteed lockdown. But why is it now that you just go for a
10
Bane
seconds remaining.
mid-draft like this?
Lane control, and it doesn't reveal so much
5
of your
seconds
overall
remaining.
strategy.
Okay.
It's somewhat like a dazzle in certain ways that you just want to pick a support that fits in a lot of
Reserve
situations.
time.
And I think Bane is just really good in the laning phase overall.
Wonderful
More
call.
importantly, I feel like teams are not really counter-picking the Bane. I talked about press the attack from LC. There's Abaddon that only seems like EG is picking with a shield,
Shadow
Yeah.
Demon.
Shadow Demon. So I feel like
Do you consider Rubik a
Team
soft
Liquid's
counter?
turn to pick.
no, because I think what Bane gives you is the laning stage, and I think Rubik, at least in that stage, is not.
Oh, you mean you deal with the Bane in the laning phase?
Yeah,
And
and I
Rubik
think
is like team fight.
yeah. Well, the other two heroes I mentioned with the Abaddon as well as LC, like the Nightmare just gets eaten up immediately.
I think a Viper would be good here for Team Liquid. You know, you
But yeah,
see
in
a
the team fight.
Gyrocopter.
Strong counter.
10 seconds remaining.
Gyrocopter coming up for Vici Gaming.
You
I
know,
just
I-
don't feel like that's a burning kind of a hero. You know,
5 seconds
Gyrocopter just tends to fall off typically later into the game, and burning is like, I thrive in late game.
Reserve
Put the
time.
team on my back, goddammit. I'm burning.
What's wrong with Gyro? Gyro can put the team on his back.
He could, but
Black Cannon.
as
Rapier.
of recent,
Yeah,
Rapier. I mean, come on.
we might see one this game. This is for all the marbles.
Double Rapier.
All of the marbles. The difference between that best
He's
of
gonna
three
get
upper
a
bracket and best of
rapier
one, yeah.
and then buy back and have another rapier.
Mm.
I know that's ZSMJ. No, that's who did that?
In
on
all
Visa?
serious, no. Like as I look at
Yeah,
this,
ZSMJ.
ZSMJ.
Yeah, ZSMJ.
now Liquid are going to be going for something different here for Fata. Very outside the normal what we see. We've been
Very
seeing
green.
tons of Razor.
Very green.
Even that brief DK. You're feeling green. I'm feeling green too. I'm thinking a Viper would be a nice suited pick here probably. I don't know why, but
It's
just,
also a very boring hero. So if
I mean the boringest of
Yeah.
heroes. I mean, how does that thing even
10
fly?
seconds
Do you know
remaining.
Viper rhymes with Razor? They're the same type of hero.
5
Did you say Viper
seconds
rhymes
remaining.
with Razor?
literally does not rhyme with Razor.
What the hell are you talking about? Hey, look, guys, the Viper is going to be the fourth grab
Okay,
indeed
it's
for
the
Liquid.
same,
But
the same kind of hero.
why
that,
though?
that you don't like at all, because it's not fun for you.
Okay.
Nah, they just messed.
I hope so. Sorry, guys. We're looking into the future right now because our casters couldn't seem to get themselves into the lobby. So
10 seconds
to go back to the Dota
remaining.
TV world here. But the difference
5
is,
seconds remaining.
I mean, is it just like a carbon copy to the Razor? He fits the same kind
yeah,
of profile.
more or less, because it serves
Reserve
for
time.
the same purpose. You want to win your lane. You want to like
5
push with the
seconds
team,
remaining.
and you just want to keep grouping up as 5. You don't
Mhm.
want to
Liquid's
just play a split
turn
push
to
type of game.
ban.
So I feel like it's more or less the same type of hero. Like you can say it's a carbon copy, same type of hero.
Vici Gaming here going to be looking for their fifth grab. Feeling the Shadow Fiend possibly here. I don't know. It's not something we regularly see super on, but do you feel like there's a good purpose as why we might expect the friend to pop up fifth here?
It's on the Radiant side. I'm surprised that it wasn't banned out so late actually.
Because Vici are not a team that actually
Play Shadow
always
Fiend.
plays Shadow Fiend. They-
Isn't it not awkward to put Shadow Fiend against a Viper? Isn't that just a win for the Viper, typically?
You
Yeah,
are gonna
but
lose a lane, but you
he's-
have the stacks.
It's Radiant, you know, so he can always just farm jungle. It
Team
doesn't really
Liquid's turn to
like
pick.
hit him so hard that he loses the lane. And the fact that they have really good synergy around their lineup with the vacuum, they have Shadow Fiend and Call Down from Gyrocopter. They're very, very powerful team fights.
Oh goodness, we haven't seen this old man in quite a while. The Necrophos comes out as the fifth grab for Liquid. They don't take long to think about it here, but what do you guys think about that?
I think that Lotus Orb would be really good versus Liquid.
Why not
So
just
you-
a
so-
Glimmer Cape?
So you don't like Lotus, or you don't like Necro here as a draft?
No, it's not like I don't like Necro. It's just their lineup is just based on a lot of single target focus damage. They want to group and push. And I just feel like Lotus Orb could be an item if the game goes late enough that you can get it on the Darkseer or the Spirit Breaker. And it could actually be a difference maker in the late game scenarios.
All right, so real fast before we send it to the drafter, who do you like's lineup more?
But we can't send it over yet.
Yeah,
we
but,
have to rehost the lobby.
But
Do we?
I think
We already did.
Oh.
I
More
think
in
I
the new
actually
one.
prefer the much more
Hi
team
everyone.
fight lineup with the Darkseer. Darkseer SF and Gyro. I prefer Vici's lineup.
Prefer Vici's lineup.
Yo, Dakota, what's the password?
Yo, I can't say it out loud. Let me type it in for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Well played, Lumi.
Oh,
Well played.
I think you
I
missed
tried to
out.
trick you. They haven't even started yet.
Oh, apparently someone else won't be able to see the lobby either. This is going very
Yo,
well.
look at the screen and look at the light. Like it's.
Yeah, if you guys are seeing all
just
these
look at
crazy
this.
lights fly on us
Oh!
here, the police are after us is what's happening. There's been a Dota bust in the arena. No, actually, they're testing out the awesome effects here. You guys can't see it, but this setup here is
I
looking
think I have
pretty
the-
damn hype.
I think I have the password here.
Well, I
Oh,
can't even see
shit.
the game.
You
so
go in. Go in
I
there.
can't even see the game.
It's been a long day, but I am looking forward to having an early night.
So it's the same password. Same password.
Yeah, it's. I don't need to join the game. It'll be fine.
I'm in the game. That's good enough for us. The problem is that some of the other
Refresh.
casters
Dude,
can't see it, but it looks like
I
he's in the
refreshed
game.
like 8 times.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're
See?
gonna be good. Looks like we're gonna.
It'll be fine.
But he's in the game.
go.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
More importantly, is we got the casters into the game. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
More importantly, Dakota got his wish. Different heroes. The green heroes.
Viper's different. That's reaching, winner. That's
I think
reaching.
Viper is pretty fun to play.
What?
What?
Who are you? Did you guys hear
Viper's
that?
Viper's fun to play.
Yeah.
Did you just say that?
Yeah. I play support Viper though.
Support Viper. What?
Walk
you
in the
run
lane,
around and poison, attack,
Be like,
and then use all your mana and just run back to base
you
and
got
heal.
mangoes. Don't worry.
Slowly.
Eat the mango. Pew, pew, pew.
The Mango Viper. It was funny because before they hopped into the game,
Oh
Jarex
my
was on
God.
the Viper, and who would have known? But more than likely,
I
they're obviously gonna
guarantee
swap
you
it
there
over
will
without
not be
that.
a support Viper.
No, definitely not. Yeah, the difference between getting the upper bracket best of 3 and
Yeah,
the bottom
yeah.
best of 1. Let's just try it out.
Maybe we've been doing Viper wrong all this time.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I would love to see a support OD. Which do you think would be more viable between the two?
Obviously, support OD. Support Viper sucks so much.
What's wrong with support Viper? You have lane
What are you
dominance.
gonna do? You don't do shit. You max what? Corrosive skin and tank.
All right, just think of this lineup where the enemy lineup have like 3 melee cores. You have a support Viper. It's like a Shadow Demon offensively. Literally not like a Shadow
I'd
Demon.
rather do support Veno.
That's
for
not
all
that
the melee.
great.
You know
heroes.
what's better than support Veno? Support Queen of Pain.
I've seen it before. Pycat did it on Alliance for a while, the position for Queen of
How
Pain.
is that better?
You get a guarantee
Wow.
slow on
And
somebody.
you get a blink, but you get a shitty ulti compared to Veno. Veno, like Queen's ulti is just such a long cooldown for a support.
Goes through BKB, man.
Okay, sure. Veno ultis also go through BKB.
Wait, only if you upgrade it, right, Alex?
No, you go through BKB regardless. Dude.
Regardless?
Dude!
You're going to make Winter blow up here in a moment.
Should I tell you about BKB now? You can read-
Just start
you can
naming like
know.
random
No
heroes and
thanks.
supports.
I know about your BKB stories.
Alright, I think it's time to send it to the casters.
Support Queen of Pain.
You know what? We could get the casters' insight on what they feel about the draft and maybe what they feel about the Viper support here. Let's go ahead and we got the 2 Davids over at the casting position right now, hopefully ready to go. LD and GoDz, gentlemen, have some fun.
Is that mine or is that yours?
Mine.
Where's mine?
I can't even hear this.
Singapore, and it all comes down to this as far as Group A is concerned, LD.
Oh man, this is intense. Vici Gaming, Liquid, 2 very evenly matched teams for me, GoDz, but Liquid mixing things up again a bit here with the Necrophos pick. Something that we've seen a lot of out of Monkey Business as of late is every time we relog, apparently our camera settings get deleted, unfortunately. But here we are, guys. You can see it's going to be pretty awesome when the fans come in tomorrow, so really looking forward to that. For now, one last tiebreaker, GoDz.
Yep.
Liquid on the dire side. It is just a straight BO1, correct? So
Absolutely.
do or
This-
die.
Yeah, winner bracket versus lower bracket, a huge difference. You're guaranteed to be top 6 if you start in the winner bracket. Similarly, you're in a best of 3 with 2 chances. So even if you drop down to the lower bracket, then you play a lower bracket best of 1 to get into the top 4. So much easier road to get into the prize money if you're playing and starting in the winner bracket.
Observer ward already planted down here by Kuro, up on the high ground. Just looking to protect that middle lane nice and early, and it's going to be Matumba Man playing the Necrophos. It'll be Fauna on the mid lane. You are up against the Spirit Breaker. This is definitely one of those heroes that likes to get aggressive early. How do you evaluate the drafts here? Vici Gaming, I would say, a very kind of typical 6.85 draft with that Darkseer combo. Oh, they do get Vision on Mind Control. They're going to charge. He hasn't skilled anything yet. They just get the initial bash. He'll blink away. I'd say the more typical 6.85 draft with that big Darkseer-centric AoE combo, your Radiant Shadow Fiend, good team fighting carry in the Gyrocopter. Liquid a little bit more off the beaten path. Do you have a favorite here?
The battle
I feel Vici Gaming will
begins.
be more in their comfort zone. Whoa, nice little bounty rune snipe coming out. Mind control though may give this up his life for this.
Was it worth it?
He
They get
spends his
both
money.
bounties. Super is denied one.
Yeah.
Bit annoying.
To me, that's probably an even trade. If anything, ever so slightly Liquid favored, just because the SF heavily relies on that bounty rune to get a good bottle timing at mid. He's not going to be able to get any souls, and it also got a massive creep block in Liquid's favor. So this mid lane will be very rough for Super. And looking at mid alone, I feel like that Queen of Pain death, well worth it.
Yeah, they want to bring Fenrir in just to help out a little bit. Super has skilled the raises, but he's going to need at least 2 waves here to get it. And Fada just ignores Fenrir, runs past him onto Super. He doesn't realize at first that there's the Hill Ward, and this is allowing for some extra harassment. Meanwhile, top lane Light of Heaven getting aggressive on Jerax and Matumba Man, but they, as 2 ranged heroes, able to trade blows
Light
successfully.
of Heaven, Navi is back, LD.
Oh,
First blood
no.
of mid lane, Fata's got a kill.
In fact, Fenrir, you got to be careful. It does have the mango. That Hill Ward winning the game right now
that is
definitely makes a big difference there.
insane. Viper gets a solo kill mid against a dual lane.
And that's where, you know, a lot of people see Mind Control blink and die for the bounty rune, and they're like, oh, you feeding noob, but well worth it, because it sets that whole thing up. And now he's going to make the aggression happen. Bottom burning, quickly disintegrates. Propeller crashing into the earth.
I don't see this counterplay achieving much either. The charge going to get cancelled, and Vici Gaming put on the back foot from minute 1.
So mid lane is pretty ugly now.
Yes.
Super.
SF versus Viper is actually a somewhat even matchup typically, but a lot of other factors coming into play this game.
Yeah, like you meant, the bounty room being denied, the superior creep block, the Hill Ward. These probably the big 3.
Whoa, burning, 0 CS. What is going on here?
Mind Control's going on, man. He's got the Bassi up, 4 and 6 already. As we just continue to see Super. What do you do? This is just
You
unbelievable.
beg for stacks support, but Ice is getting owned at top. He's forced to rotate to the jungle, so they won't even be stacks for Super, it looks like.
This is what he gets for changing his name. I warned him.
This early game's a catastrophe. Things could not be going worse. I mean, there was a game like this earlier where it was VP winning all 3 lanes against Liquid of all teams, and then Liquid turned it around with some strong 5-man play, but I don't feel like Vici's got quite the same durable 5-man sustained lineup that Liquid had earlier today, so...
They're a very scary 5-man lineup, but they're not as... They need a lot of farm to get into it.
Like
That's the big
A
difference.
Darkseid without a mech, or SF potentially goes to mech, but like not having a mech, Gyrocopter who's also not going to even have just basic treads, drums, whatever it could be, so...
So you've now got a free farm Necrophos not being contested, a Shadow Fiend is getting wrecked mid, a Gyro who's not farming bottom, your Darkseid's off in the jungle, Fenrir's trapped in the trees.
And again, Liquid have a great
gonna have to eat
sustained
his way
lineup.
out.
They've got heals all across the board and tanky frontliners. Viper and Necro both very, very tanky and durable. You've got the Necro heal, you've got Brain Sap, you've got Soul Rip. Killing this Liquid team is already hard enough, and then when you're playing from behind, it becomes even more impossible.
They're sweeping towards bottom lane, looking for a pickoff here. Who do they go on? Kuro would be the easier takedown. Mind Control still has the blink available. And Kuro gets into the trees. Could buy that TP scroll, not opting to, though. Vici Gaming will just let him go. Another failed rotation. A lot of wasted time here. Really not getting much done in the laning stage. All across the board is Super. We'll duke it out with Fauna, but he finally has the higher level raise, level 2, but not high enough. That's a level 5 Viper. That's a dead Shadow Fiend.
And not getting any uphill misses as well. So a bit of RNG for Fata. I think it was like at least 2, maybe 3 right clicks uphill that all land, but...
He could have dove for at least one more auto attack anyway, so most likely he gets that kill.
And that's just where this mid lane needs some help, needs some stacks. He needs level 5 before he can rotate into the jungle, which is where he was trying to probably play a bit greedy there to finish off that level 5. Then he can just pretty much abandon mid lane because there is no laning against this Viper now.
I mean,
Viper Strike, no mana for it, though.
Normally the way this draft works is your Darkseid and Spirit Breaker both start top. They just constantly bully and dive the Necrophos and even the Bane to some extent. Yeah, he's got the Sleep to Interrupt charge, but it's a pretty heavy mana cost. You can't really spam it the way you can with the charge. And then the Shadow Fiend Viper trade evenly. You know, maybe the Viper slightly out CSs or harasses him, but you can catch up with stacks. They haven't had that dual lane top gun. They're trying to dive Fada. The charge will come through. This is big. They really need this kill, and they'll get it, and even more fortunately, Super, the one to get the last hit. Now rotation, though. Mind Control level 4, try to duke it out the raises. Super's got to commit and fight this one out. He can't quite make it out. Mind Control even thinking about a go in. Well, in the end, the Shadow Friend will die, and he loses all those souls he worked so hard to build up.
And they were very close to saving the Viper. If that Bane gets there half a second sooner with the Nightmare preventing SF's right click, suddenly Viper gets out of there alive, and it's a huge loss for Vici Gaming.
Burning he's trying to catch up. Back to 15 and 7, so that's the one good thing with the tri-lane that they had bottom for a while. It's still a terrible laning stage for him. Probably one of the worst starts I've ever seen Burning have in general, but he is beginning to catch up. And he is getting his levels, perhaps more importantly.
So Vici Gaming are going to have to play at a pretty slow tempo. It's not like their comeback is going to be like going for lots of smoke ganks. They've got a Darkseid who needs levels and farms, Shadow Fiend who also needs to get at least level 7, so I don't really see this lineup having the ability to make counterplays outside of Gyro's level 6.
They're going to try to punish Fata again. The charge goes in. They need a bash here for sure to even have a shot, and not going to happen.
And Fata going for it early.
He's going for super! Oh, nice cold embrace. I was like, Fata, man, that's really bold. If they get a bash here, he's dead. Bash? No, maybe not with the stick charges. Might be able to barely survive. Raise! Very well done by Super, and will be enough to get the kill. Haste will spawn, and it will be Fenrir to grab it. So the tri-lane mid, GoDz, it is allowing the Shadow Fiend to at least stay somewhat relevant. Up to 700 gold now, but it's also freeing up Mind Control bottom, as well as your Necrophos for Matumba Man top.
Unfortunately for Super, he didn't get the last hit on the Viper. I don't even know if he got XP and gold from the AoE there. I think he was just out of range, which makes his life continue
a
to be
living
very
hell.
difficult. Yeah, it's still going to be rough. Viper here has, because of the 3 points in poison attack, is very vulnerable to these ganks, and that's where we are seeing Vici Gaming get some kind of counter kills on him now. They're bringing 3 heroes mid, and this is kind of taking note of the build that Fata went for and able to at least fix some of the early game problems they were having with the laning stage.
So as bad as this laning stage looks, I do feel like the Vici Gaming lineup is the type of draft that can, I won't say easily come back, but that is very adept at turning games around. You've got the massive AoE team fight, great setup for it. Sure, these heroes are somewhat farm dependent, but as soon as Gyro hits level 6, Darkseer gets a couple of points in vacuum, and you get Winter's Curse. That's probably the biggest one, and FY is already level 5, mind you, at 7 minutes in. Then they can potentially win a gigantic fight and turn the game. So as bad as it looks right now, by no means are they out of it.
Oh, no.
But it's hard not to tilt in this situation.
Very much all it takes is that one Gyrocopter TP rotation. They may not even have to wait for like points in the vacuum or a Winter's Curse. If Burning just sees an opening somewhere on the map, he TPs in, gets even just 1 kill on a core hero like Viper or Necrophos, ideally get a couple, suddenly that's 1,000 gold swing and you're looking at an almost even game. So what's this lead that Liquid have is very quickly and easily lost because of Gyrocopter's power, even without farm.
And they do have access to call down now. Mind Control, cracking level 6, will skill up the ultimate. But FY definitely could be the savior. You know, he's come to play, and when Vici Gaming have needed big individuals stepping up from a support, definitely could be an opportunity again. They have vision of him, though. Using that Splinter Blast to try to farm a stack in Mind Control. He will snag a double damager, and he starts hunting. He's at least going to look to steal the stack. He does get charged, though. Another Splinter Blast flying through. That is a warning shot. Mind Control not abiding by it for now. That charge coming over the tree line. No vision, and we'll get hit once. They're going to need a bash or 2. Won't get it. But at the very least, they managed to somewhat secure the rest of the jungle. Yeah. Which Super will be happy about.
Just been a constant pest here. This is an offlane Queen of Pain with, 1 kill, 1 assist, and the death is very much to his team's advantage, and already 34 last hits. So we'll hit level 6, smoke up with Jerax, and these two are looking for a kill. This is where ganking Burning is an amazing play. You go somewhere else and he's the TP counter gank. It looks like they will swing back mid, but this to me is the riskier option because they do expose themselves, especially going into where Super's farming now in the neutrals, to that TP rotation from Gyrocopter. So if I'm Liquid, I'd be saying, let's go gank Gyro because that means he's not counter ganking us.
And also means you might kill the Wyvern before he gets to use Winter's Curse, although now he is level 6, so perhaps a slightly missed opportunity. FY going to run into Mind Control. Well, he could commit the curse here, but Mind Control doesn't want to pursue it. Afraid about backup. Will retreat in the end. So Jerax now going to do a bit of dewarding. Courier assisting him in this effort. And Super will begin to clear out his stacks as he has the long, arduous journey towards a comeback still ahead of him. Well, things have settled down. God, that was a crazy start, but everyone a lot calmer now. They're going to pull the aggressive maneuver here, bring Burning in a little bit later than the normal C-deck timing, but they want to start fighting around the call down, and This is probably their best play, I would say, overall.
And I've seen Vici Gaming do this as well as a few of the other Chinese teams. They'll actually give Winter Wyvern like the safe lane when the gyro rotates off, despite him already being level 6. He ends up being the TP rotation, whereas Gyrocopter is leading the smoke charge to the enemy jungle. So Wyvern, a hero that can benefit a lot from like a fast Glimmer Cape, has the spam from Splinter Blast to push out the lane as well.
Charging into Matumba Man, called on deployed. Undyne's going to TP into it. Oh, just kidding. Kuroki thinks better of it.
Yeah, and this is just really crisp play coming out from Vici Gaming after the poor start. Keeping FY bottom, he'll just continue to Soul Ring, Splinter Blast, spam out the lane, and defend the tower pretty well on his own. And even if they Liquid do 3-4-man rotate to kill him, it's not really a big problem for Vici Gaming. Losing FY as their kind of 4 position support doesn't really compare to losing your safe lane farming Necrophos.
They are going to allow Super to clear out his triple stack, though. The climb back continues, GoDz. After what looked like one of the worst starts in the history of Shadow Fiend. He's only 1,000 down on the Viper. He's making his way back in. Do you feel like Liquid are getting a little bit too complacent? Do they need to be putting more pressure out, or is this okay?
I don't feel like it's complacency so much. They have tried to go aggressive. They'll now do so and bring down super mid. Like, they used to smoke earlier, went through the enemy jungle hoping to get a pick off and just didn't find anyone. And they also knew they didn't want to go near towers or like dive around the big camp on the Radiant jungle at the far left, because that's a death pit for them. They go there, Gyro TP's in, so they tried to remain aggressive while being somewhat calculated in their aggression, and it didn't work out for them. They didn't execute on their ganks and their smoke rotation.
They're going to TP the Wyvern in mid lane. Glyph was already popped, though. So FY just ensuring they don't go for tier 2, but oh. Missed the kill top as Jerax gets run down. Charge, another strike, and no cooldown. Just looks like a rocket barrage. Looks like they want to steal some Dire stacks, but moving into position, mind control. They want to contest this. Ice, playing the comeback game up to 1,500 gold. He's going to snag a regen. That's pretty sweet. Heals him right back up to full, and his own Ochre Bruiser working against mind control.
And Liquid have slowed down the pace a lot here. Looking around at some of the items they have coming their way, it doesn't look like they're going to have a fast mech timing on anyone. They've gone for a Midas on Matumba Man, signaling they will be kind of playing more of the farm game for this period of time. I think they do want to, like, even if they're going for these more farm-centric items, they still want to look for pick-offs, use the Sonic Wave somewhat liberally, even if it's just for, like, a solo kill on a, like, utility hero. You solo kill a Darkseer or a Spirit Breaker, you can slow down some of their item progression. They don't want to just entirely sit back and farm all 5 heroes. That, to me, has sometimes been their downfall. Some of the Razor games where they've started losing, it just feels like, yeah, Fata knows that to remain relevant on Razor, he has to farm a ton and just power through the jungle, but you can't have the entire team playing that farm-centric Dota.
Well, Vici Gaming certainly are doing their best. They've got the Wyvern farming one lane, the Darkseer up top for Ice. Super clearing out the bottom lane. Fenrir and Burning for now grouped up together, but Burning has been getting aggressive in the enemy jungle. Now we may see our first smoke gank with a Winter's Curse and a cooldown, GoDz.
Yep.
Big opportunity here. The Vacuum's only level 2 if they want to head Ice's way. Seems that is the choice.
And they make a point to show 2 heroes on the map as well. So they show Super bottom. Ice while he's in fog at top. His Iron Shell on the creep pseudo reveals his position. And Liquid then will be under the impression that Vici Gaming is somewhat split apart on the map.
Matumba Man, he's not buying it. He's hiding.
Yeah. Super alone showing at bottom was just a bit too fishy, it seems. And he hasn't shown now for like almost a minute.
This is an interesting time to gank, though. Mech is almost done. They're going to commit for it. They dive on a Super. They get off, or a Matumba Man, rather. They get off the Winter's Curse. Cooldown was deployed. Jerax jumps into it. It's an ambush. It's a trap. 2 down. Mind Control looking for the turn. They are going to get Ice on the way out. Now Burning in danger, getting kited a bit by the Viper. Fenrir also in trouble. They're going to lose 3. Kuroki lips away, and now FY has got to run, but there's a lone zombie harassing him. Blink, as well as a Shadow Strike up soon. He's got a TP now, and he'll just go for the TP out. Looks like he should barely make it. But Super is at least getting a little me time. Big overextension there from Vici in the end, though, is they drop 3.
Yeah, they really felt like they had to force, and they knew they could bring down Matumba Man before any TPs even arrived. Not only do they bring down Matumba Man, they bring down the first TPing hero in the Bane. So they're thinking, great, we just actually killed the 2 heroes who are here, but the follow-up TPs were the problem heroes. If someone else other than Bane TP'd in first and died, I think that fight is lost for Liquid, but the Bane dying meant the Viper and the Queen of Pain could just clean up.
Super nowhere to run with the ultimate available from the Necrophos. Does manage to get off his Requiem, but still down for 70 seconds at 14 minutes.
problematic.
That is definitely problematic. So Matumba Man goes Midas. Pretty standard Necro build in the safe lane nowadays.
Fata goes SMY. You know, Fata used to love his mech. Nowadays, it seems the SMY has replaced the mech in his heart as just that Fata item. He is Mr.
What
SMY.
makes an item a Fata item?
He just buys it every game, regardless of hero. Viper.
That's a boring answer. I thought you had something clever planned.
No.
You disappoint me, God.
He used to go mech on like Dragon Knight. It used to go mech
Oh
on
yeah, the
mech on
troll
everyone.
mech. even.
Warlord mech. I mean, it was like getting a Fata mech was a thing. Like playing like a mid hero that doesn't normally go mech and you get a mech, that's a Fata mech.
Yeah. Then Mushi did the old Shadow Fiend mech, and the rest was history. They will deward over near the Ancients, it seems. Spirit Breaker, Fenrir galloping towards top. The game settles into a more slow-paced rhythm. A slight lead for Liquid, but definitely not overwhelming. And I mean, GoDz, to me, I look at this draft on paper. Two main things standing out. One is there's a Necrophos on one team, so if you ever get to the point where there's an Ags, can be a completely game-breaking hero if he gets off a good ult. Other thing is Vici Gaming have this sick team fight. So how do you feel the team shake up, and what should their approaches be moving forward?
And Liquid don't want this game to drag too much in general. They haven't really got the best late game scaling heroes, Necrophos as well as Viper. Necrophos can be amazing late game if you're getting those Ags Reaper kills, but he needs the damage to set that up. And it's an off-lane utility Queen of Pain who's going to go into a Yule Scepter. Undying, they haven't got the burst damage to really guarantee Reaper kills when they get to the late game, and you've got an SF who's likely to be really farm with like SMY, Skadi, BKB. Spirit Breaker going to have a BKB likely. There's Glimmer Capes as well to negate some of the Reaper damage, so I don't really see assurance that Reapers are going to come into play in the late game just with their draft, and that's where I feel Liquid don't want to let time just kind of go by as they just farm along merrily while Vici Gaming are also farming. They want to probably look to play and take the game into their hands very soon. They're going to smoke up now. This is probably one of the first steps in doing so. And
both teams smoking. Vici also on the move, but they're a little less organized. Burning. That legendary map sense is just going to be there in time. Oh, my control almost had him. He actually had the lane ward, so
he could have actually blinked sooner and just gone for like he didn't
a
have to blink
longer
next
range
to him.
Yules.
Yeah, that was. I think he actually had the ability to catch him there, but
did the lane ward see all the way to him? I'm pretty sure it did.
He was in range of the ward.
Okay.
Definite misplay, but there's a lot of pressure on these teams. They're in a tiebreaker match here. Everyone is only human.
Well, that's what you think. Some frogs and robots for all we
Burning
know.
in this game, sometimes you think he's a robot when you see how much farm he gets.
Oh, this Vici Gaming 5-man, though, ever so scary. They're waiting for the backstab with Kuro. Engage onto the tower. Last hit will be by Burning as he gets slept and held in position for a moment. Down the back, the turnaround coming from Super. Requiem, no, it's interrupted. Matumba Man bails them out. Deletes him for 80 seconds. Still, they fight their way through this mass AoE, forcing back Liquid, and Kuroki suddenly finds himself on the run. Big charge through. Fenrir going deep. 4 blasted off the map. You would not have known how this game began by how smooth that fight looked, and that was without the Requiem going off. Matumba Man almost salvaged the fight, but almost doesn't count here, GoDz.
Just gyrocopter thing. Gyro and Daxia, the mech as well as just the AoE team fight of a vacuum call down, and then the constant rocket barrage coming out as well. Burning getting off, I think, 2 or 3 high damage rocket barrages, just making all the world of difference there. And again, SF dead for a long time. This is going to really cripple SF in his item progression. So for Liquid, it's a terrible fight, not what you're looking for, but you do have that slight upside of like, okay, Gyro's going to get big, but Gyro not the best late game carry. The SF is the scarier late game carry of the two, and at least they're shutting one of the two down, but still, you'd much rather be kind of taking that fight and coming out on top.
Yeah. They're both flash farmers is the one thing. Like, Viper going SMY. Razor definitely can flash farm better than a Viper. He's got
even Necro's not going to be a particularly good flash farmer.
He at least got the Midas, I guess, but yeah, that's where I worry for Liquid is not even how good are the heroes late game, but how likely are they to get that farm. Queen of Pain can get there, maybe Necro, but Viper, not likely to. You know Darkseer is going to farm. You know even Wyvern is. Oh, in fact, there's already a Glimmer Cape up on FY. And you pointed out nice and early that they make it a priority to give him the farm. And, you know, potentially Spirit Breaker goes back for Midas, although looks Fenrir may just want the BKB. But basically 4 Vici Gaming heroes flash farm. I would say only 2 of Liquid's do.
I think the big thing to really look at that fight is Liquid, despite having a 2k gold lead and it's 18 minutes in, did not really have a single, like, key item.
Just the mech.
They don't have a mech, no.
Oh,
The-
well,
the-
so Liquid. I thought you meant Vici.
Oh no,
Gaming.
Liquid have no key items. They're trying to team fight. They're like, oh, we're ahead. We've got more kills, and Liquid are try and take a 5v5 fight, knowing they're like, I mean, they are ahead 2,000 net worth, but what key items do they have? Viper had a Yasha with an Ogre Club, and that's it. I guess Matamba Man has had a Blink Midas, but Midas isn't a fighting item. Blink's just like a positioning tool.
The Yules on Quap is...
That's on a 5v5
yeah,
item.
exactly.
You can cancel a Requiem, which they have other ways of doing. So Yules is very much like kind of a utility item. And on the side of Vici Gaming, they had a mech on the Darkseer, most importantly, and they have a Gyrocopter who doesn't necessarily, who just is like the king of team fights at the 18-minute mark. Like, this is one of the heroes that if you don't have items to help burst him down and deal with the Gyro, you're in trouble. So very much a weak point in the kind of Liquid's overall draft timing, and they still decide to take a fight.
So how do you adjust now if you're Liquid, GoDz? It's still an relatively even game numerically, but it does feel like when it comes to those 5v5 fights, Vici Gaming probably going to have the edge if it's an organized one.
Yeah.
Do you avoid the fights? Do you have to just execute them better? Is it a vision situation? What do you reckon here Liquid need to be doing differently?
I don't think they want to just play 100% passive, play the farm game until they get those key items, which is probably going to be the dual Acceptors on Necro and Queen of Pain. But they don't want a 5v5, so they need vision up. They want to take over the enemy jungle, try and find pickoffs. We see Jarek's doing that now. He gets down a deep ward in the Radiant jungle, I believe may have been scouted, has a deep ward in the bottom lane, so if they can find like a pickoff, even if it's just like a single support or something, and then back off to farm, that's going to be keeping Vici Gaming scared, slow down their farm efficiency while you build towards those key items. Once they have the Acceptors, that's when it's smoke time, roach time. That's where you look to take your objectives.
They surge ice out. Looks like they want to get aggressive, and they have some vision now. Matamba Man blinks away at the last moment. Kuro just hiding in the bushes, hoping nobody scouts him, and I think at the nighttime they didn't actually see him, so he'll TP out.
Yeah, full-on retreat. I think Liquid recognizing that Vici are 5-manning. Anytime Vici are 5-manning, Liquid want to get the hell away from that. They want to disperse and just farm in as many locations as possible. So they send Matamba Man top. It looks like Kuro will kind of swing towards the jungle, maybe get some defensive wards up towards the top tier 1 tower. Bata will farm the jungle. They had mind control pushing out the mid lane. So like that sequence right there is good. Like, that's very valuable for Liquid. They out farming Vici Gaming. They're forcing Vici Gaming. Well, Vici Gaming are playing a 5-man style, and Liquid are responding appropriately.
They cluster up bottom. 5 heroes moving forward. This is probably something we're going to see more of as this game moves along. Just 5 Vici Gaming heroes deathballing down a lane.
Ideally want to be trading this for the tier 1 top tower. Queen of Pain, probably they're the best hero to do that, but right now, no one really in position to trade for top tier 1 tower. They don't want to defend, but they need to be trading for farm as well as like towers on other lanes, or at least to force TPs back. Problem is now Vici Gaming have already taken the tower. I don't see any way they let this top tier 1 go down.
The call is made to go back through the jungle, or maybe and check the Roach pit.
Roche for tier 1? No.
I think they just want to scout it.
Roche is
They have
possible.
Shadow Fiend. They could do it, but it wouldn't be the fastest Roche.
There's farm and a tower to be protected up top, even if it's not the most important tower of the game.
And they are getting close to new items now. Ice. It's going to be a long forgotten item. Something Winter, I'm sure, watching right now, is a big fan of. The pipe. Looks like it might be coming out.
Great against Necro, Viper. I mean, all these heroes outside of the Sonic Wave is very magic damage centric. There's
Actually, you have a pipe and a glimmer cape. Like, if you manage to glimmer that hero, that focus. Grip on FY. He will go down. It's a nice kill considering that the Wyvern is a crucial part of their team fight, but they don't have to push now. Let's see if Vici are confident. They're going to congregate, move in a bit. Shadow Fiend activating his haste turn and charging forward. They're diving on Matamba Man. Oh, they don't want to go that far. But it might have been far enough that they're in danger. Kuro now looking to turn. He counterplays by dropping the tomb. There's the defensive Requiem super, just scattering the enemy backlines off of the fight. They continue to retreat slowly as zombies work them down. Matamba still holding the ult. The pipe even activated. God, they're tanky. Down the back, the wall, the turnaround potentially charging through. Federer with the 3 hero knockdown. The Birdie gets up the cooldown. They're fighting this without the Wyvern, and they're winning. Fada being forced back. Mind control in danger. Now Burning rushes in. The Necro did manage to get 1 kill in that fight, taking down the Spirit Breaker, but still a 2-for-1 without the Wyvern. That's how good their 5-man is.
And that's with a very poor Shadow Fiend. If Shadow Fiend had any more items, he probably would have been able to run in to kind of combo with the vacuum, but he just felt he's too squishy, and if he runs in, he's going to die, which is probably the truth. And despite all that, Liquid, yeah, 2 for 1, not including the Wyvern kill, which was kind of a side event, and that just that's a 5v4 fight where they're getting destroyed.
Imagine if there's a Wyvern there.
Yeah,
Jesus.
this draft really seems to have some key weaknesses at this stage of the game where they're very item dependent to do damage, but at the same time, like, they also don't have the best team fight. It's Vici Gaming just with this standard SF, Darkseer, Gyrocopter, 6.84 draft almost. That's just kind of doing what's needed here. Just standard play.
Super. Could have gotten a kill, but did not move up for the short range raise and then not able to cast it at the end there. Bit unfortunate. Tried to vacuum Jerax, but it looks like he managed to Nightmare dodge it, so didn't get pulled up on the cliff. Then the Tombstone gets dropped. But again, even when Vici get a little over aggressive, don't perfectly chain their spells, they can just disengage and walk away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Vici Gaming are the ones pressuring, taking tower after tower. They've taken all but one outer tower at this stage of the game and have now acquired themselves just a 2,000 net worth lead, but it really feels like Vici Gaming are the ones who are going to have superior map control. They're pushing out the lanes. They've got heroes who can push out lanes. That's one of Liquid's biggest weaknesses right now. Viper, not really a lane pusher, but at the same time a hero you want farm on, so you're going to send him to lanes to farm, but that's just slow and inefficient play. Whereas on the Vici Gaming side, you've got Gyro, Black Cannon, you've got SF Razors, you've got Darkseer Iron Shell, and you've got Winter Wyvern. 4 amazing heroes at just bursting down a creep wave instantly. On Liquid side, you've got like 1.5 with Necro and Queen of Pain both doing like an okay job. Queen of Pain with an Axe, you can at least Sonic Wave down if you want to push fast. Necro's like pretty good.
This is just a totally Vici Gaming centered tempo. They farm out all the waves, they farm the jungle, and then when they want to go for a pickoff, they just all group up and run for it. Jerax is going to get caught here. Wyvern ult cooling down, sleeps there, but Bernie gets in position, call down deployed. Where you going, Jerax? Tried for the escape, but not able to make it out in the end. Vici now, GoDz, this could be Roche. Into the pit they go. They've got the vac wall. They've got the ward up. In fact, 2 wards up, giving them great vision around the Roche pit. And now the question becomes, will Liquid contest? Can they afford not to contest? So hard to walk into this.
They've got the Tombstone on the cliff potential.
But they've got double BKB, vacuum wall.
And Radiant have a ward so they can scout that Tombstone on the cliff. And more importantly, Roche
Oh, they were thinking about it. They even smoked up for this. Are they going to walk in? Fada almost just about to say, screw it. They're on the precipice. They're just out of range. Now Kuro gets revealed. They could charge in.
Yeah, Vici Gaming is like, you want to fight us? Sure, we'll fight you. We got an Aegis on SF as well as BKB now. We'll take that fight.
Yeah, they got the double BKB, and they are going to go for the smoke back. Straight up. Vision still there. I believe they saw Fada hanging out. Well, they see the neutrals being moved around. They get the charge off. Fada now committing to BKB for this, but he's going to be Netherstruck. Locked down for days, I imagine. Oh, the Netherstruck on cooldown, but they get up the 2-hero curse. Kuro runs in to try and save him, and he's going to pay with his life as well. Vici Gaming continuing to find their openings. 2 more kills. Oh. Very poised response to the way this game began.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like Liquid have comeback potential with their draft as well. This one is not like over right now, but very close to being over unless Liquid can pull together an amazing high ground defense.
They don't have wall or curse. It's a.
Yep.
I guess if there's ever a fight for Liquid to turn around, it might be this one.
Well, they've got to wait 35 seconds for their Viper, and I don't think they want to do it 4v6.
Prepping to raise down the waves. Now they're just going to breach the high ground now. Quap ult. Bit of a slowed ult, but they still have the creeps alive. They're in the base. The glyph committed. There's a slow and steady split push from the Necrophos, but he's not going to have that Aghanims just yet. Up to 2,700 gold. Desperately wants to complete it before this base gets breached. Super moving in a bit deeper. Has the BKB still. Necrophos Ags, I think coming soon. No, he's hanging on to his gold for now. As Fenrir charges in, he will manage to interrupt the Bane ultimate and then goes back the back into Requiem. Oh! It hurts! It bleeds! Vici Gaming are smacking down Liquid. That was pretty sexy. They start the Requiem before the Vac even comes through. Now the turnaround, though, looking for an burn-in. He does get deleted by Batumba Man, dead for 90 seconds, but is it going to be enough? There's the bash. Mind control down. They have the Aegis still. They've taken the range racks. Fada has a BKB ready. Shadow Fiend, his BKB on cooldown. They're going to Shiva super, slow him down. They could surge him away. He wants to run in and fight. There's the charge. Engaging past Fada. They vacuum back Batumba Man. Matumba Man, low but not dead yet. Liquid are holding. They're turning. They make it. Oh, there's the curse. Actually, Matumba Man may die. That was close.
Yeah.
Man, stressful little engagement. In the end, they only lose a range Drax.
Man, not going
Could have been worse.
Went for the safe play, and Vici Gaming Yeah, as you said, could have been worse. Necro is still the top farmer. That Shiver's Guard could not have arrived earlier as far as holding the high ground there and keeping Liquid alive. They're
Are
still
you
just
seeing FY's farm, by the way?
Oh, it's crazy. It's one of those things where I see this, I'm like, this is actually a totally legitimate hero to farm a ton on. Like, Burning has not been farming in lane for most of this game. He's been farming neutrals, ancient stacks, and it's been Winter Wyvern who's been jungling as well as pushing out this safe lane continuously. This is not the first time I've seen FY get like up to close. I've seen him like 10k plus net worth at Winter Wyvern at like 35, 40 minutes. And not just like, it's not even like it's like an overall Vici Gaming playstyle thing where they're just like, look, this hero benefits a lot from items. Glimmercape with a refresher is incredible on Winter Wyvern. Let's give him the farm to get there.
Well, Liquid, they do manage to get a ward down here on the cliff, trying to get some aggressive vision. But I just have this feeling that most of the fights will be taking place in Liquid territory, barring a really nice smoke gank. And they're moving into position. Vici Gaming, do they want to wait much longer? Fenrir's BKB, not too far off. There are 2 ways to cancel that charge at least. But they are pretty important ones, the grip as well as the Necropho Assault. Liquid on the smoke now. Freshly popped. Where do they go? What do they do?
Doesn't look like they're going to find anything with Vici Gaming's current position. They're grouped up enough. They're in kind of high ground territory as well, where Liquid are going to be running towards them from the low ground.
Oh, they're running away.
Yeah, I don't think you want to run towards the Radiant Ancients because you are going to be going from low ground to high ground, so it's much safer to take the path that they're going now. And
you can see Kuroki knows exactly where they are. I think he wants to meet them going for their own smoke up the lane as they see Fenrir. But Mind Control showed himself mid.
Well, he shows mid and has a haste rune as well as level 4 blink, so he can get here very quickly.
Oh, the fight's about to break out. Who goes first? Light of Heaven up in front. BKB popped by Fada. He's going to surge away. They're gripping Fenrir this whole time, but there's the back. The call down well as well. It's only hitting the support, but it will be enough to bring down Kuroki. Jirex also removed from the fight. Mind Control on the run. Burning rushes in. They want to stop Fada's TP out. Now they're strike. Oh, not quite in time. It was miscast animation there.
That's like Liquid in... Like they're the ones who orchestrated that. I mean, you could see kind of Kuro with some of the drawings, just as you said, wanted to meet Vici Gaming in that exact area. Probably was hoping that they'd run into 3, maybe 4 heroes and Vici Gaming wouldn't be ready for a fight, but the surprise just wasn't there. Vici Gaming had everybody, all hands on deck, ready to go and take that fight with ease.
They do have their curse still, but of course lacking the wall, lacking the Requiem. That's the one thing for Vici is that whenever they take these fights, they do have to blow a couple big, fairly long cooldown ultimates, and then you're a little hesitant to go into the base. Yep. So you just keep on farming.
Haven't been on the high ground, but they've taken a mid-range racks at least, so they're not in a big rush right now. They will have control over the next Roche respawn, and Liquid, they're the ones who somewhat feel like they're in a timer. Matumba Man will be 100 gold shove an Ag Scepter, which he'll almost definitely pick up right away, not worried about having buyback for such a high-impact item, and he needs to delete a few heroes in a row for Liquid to stand a chance in this late game.
Ah, the Lotus Orb for FY.
Okay.
Pretty sick Lotus Orb game, actually.
Very handy.
Not that you can argue with the refresher.
Yeah.
They'll charge Matumba Man. They're going to catch him out. He's got the Shiva's Guard. He's fairly durable. Jerax, Fiend's Grip pulling down. Doesn't have it ready just yet. His Burning commits a call down onto Matumba. They haven't killed anyone yet. They need backup. Shadow Fiend's not here. Vici Gaming may have just overextended, but they're, well, for now, hanging and holding the line. They're waiting for the curse to come out. FY's trying to time it just right. Fada's BKB still going super, negating a lot of the outgoing damage. Still holding that Winter's Curse. When's it going to come? Where's it going to go? Lotus Orb ready. He's going to curse Matumba Man. Super, raising Matumba down. There's the defensive sleep, trying to keep him alive. FY, oh, they can't get the job done. Super healed up again, keeping him alive. A 3-for-2 exchange as Mind Control found a field on the backside, but Ice, jumping onto Jerax. Not enough. Let's make it out. It's up to Mind Control to stall the push.
He'll do his best job of that.
Jesus, crazy fight.
Yeah, that was... that looked like a fight that was going to go really bad for Liquid at first when they went on the Necrophos, but they kept him alive. Great defensive nightmares. Jerax has made some clutch plays on the Bane. His scoreline doesn't show it, but he's saved core heroes multiple times with the Nightmare. And once that Gyro BKB were off, Vici Gaming were in a bit of a rough spot if Gyro got caught by the Reaper, but it was the Spirit Breaker kind of zoning Liquid out, throwing away his life to make sure that Vici Gaming could reposition and re-enter the fight in their own terms.
Yeah, bit of a disorganized fight for Vici. Not the best call down. BKB ended before the fight really got going, and they didn't have Shadow Fiend there when it started either, so all things considered, Vici, I think, still fine with the result, given the lack of positioning on their part. And they are now back to farming. Exactly where they want to be.
Okay. Yeah, SF has a lot of room to grow. He's been playing catch-up for some time. Gyrocopter, 3.7k gold. We'll see a new item.
What's
pick up
the
for
build
Bernie.
here?
Let's see. Any evasion on this dire side? He's going to pick up a butterfly. Okay. So either butterfly or MKB. If there's evasion, you probably want to go. You definitely want to go MKB. But otherwise, the butterfly, good against the Viper, and just a good pushing item as well. Even though there isn't that much single target right click coming out of Liquid.
Marching down mid, Light of Heaven. God damn it. Ice, ice, ice. Throws out the Iron Shop. I am going to wring his neck the next time I see him. GoDz, I got to tell you. This might be Ice, Ice, Ice's last game of Dota.
He's in Singapore, so Twitter's no longer blocked. So feel free, viewers, to complain away. Let him know how disgusted you are about confusing us casters. Us poor, innocent casters.
After 14 hours of casting, your brain does tend to go on a bit of an autopilot.
You just see, you see a name, you read a name. Convert text to speech. How to become a caster.
I wonder what a pure like text-to-speech cast would sound like. Just like reading out the combat log super fast.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, you could pass the right data from like the live combat log. Maybe you could make it work. Soon, in the future, LD, in 5 years' time, robots will be taking over our jobs as well.
Illusion.
We've already said the
there's a
robots
thought.
would take over.
Well, they've
What
already
did they
taken
know?
over. They've already taken over camera control in game. Never miss a kill, eh? Game slows down now. Very tense. BO1, everything on the line. A loss here. Teams down in the lower bracket. Not to say they can't advance, but what is it? The first 2 rounds are BO1s?
Yes, loser bracket round
So
1
you got to
and 2.
fight through the riffraff in order to get into the big BO3 matches.
Yep. Oh dear. That's Reaper on cooldown, and that's Matumba Man, let's say, stuck. No TP out.
They're charging. Fenrir.
That's maybe a free Roche. I don't think... I mean, Liquid can still look to contest this. If anything, they may feel pressured to do so and try smoke up and go make a play, but that Reaper, very costly.
Didn't see how exactly he got baited, but
Just an illusion walking into the river.
was it the Wyvern illusion?
Yeah, Wyvern illusion.
Oh, bit unfortunate.
Wandered from Radiant Jungle towards the Roshan pit. And
So with the free Aegis now, they've taken a range Rex. Do you just go down mid?
wait for the butterfly, which is... Okay.
Now
so
on
wait,
line.
There we go. SF is not
Radiant's top
close
tower
to...
is under
It's
attack.
close-ish to Skadi, but... It could even be a Lincoln Sphere this game. I think they've got adequate damage, and they know that Liquid themselves aren't going to be able to like win a fight right away, so a long drawn-out fight is quite likely, and that's where Lincoln Sphere, to block some of those key spells that Liquid rely on, could be a really nice item for the SF to get, not only just against the Reaper, but also against the Fiend's Grip. Blocking a Viper Strike can be valuable since that's such an annoying spell for SF to try and move around against.
I guess the most standard item would be the Eye of Scotty here.
Yes. Depends how much he values that utility. Something maybe you want to go for like a, on your one of your supports, like a Spirit Breaker or Dark Sleep to get a Lincoln instead.
They all move it down mid. Fenrir ready to go with the BKB charge. Still 9 seconds. Very healthy. Liquid trying to hold. Up against the wall. Vici Gaming pressing forward. There's the Blink Initiation. Not the best by Ice Ice Ice, but he does manage to at least get off the curse of Matumba Man. Mind Control looks to turn this. They have so much damage. They still obliterate the Necrophos, who has no buyback. Kuro's going to go down just to the flat cannon. When you can commit a curse and a vacuum and a wall just to get a single Necrophos, and there's no punish, my god, you are much stronger in the
They're just
fights.
gonna swing mid. There's no tier 2 towers. That means this is just right for the taking. Liquid. How to defend without your Necro Undying? I don't think there's really a way. Viper trying to run in is just going to be feeding away his life and force out a buyback.
Fenrir charging in. Oh, there's the Yule Scepter, but doesn't matter. Ice 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 gets in a bit deeper, and they will karate chop down the Bane. Casting him to the floor. Vici Gaming closing in on the win, and the winner's bracket along with it. Quap Bolt committed, but it's not quite enough. Now Thada forced to run, herded back towards the well. Liquid not ready to give up the ghost just yet, but they may not have much of a choice about it, GoDz. Melee racks down. Range racks also to fall.
Guaranteed 2 lanes of racks, and Vici say, hey, they're respawning in 15 seconds. We're not going to get top lane as well. Let's reset a bit, wait for our ulti cooldown. Right now, all 5 ultimates are on cooldown, so no reason to press their luck with Liquid respawning, going for a third lane of racks, and they'll just spend all this. Like, you get 4 racks, that's a huge ingest of gold and income. So everyone's going to be picking up new big items all of a sudden, and you may as well buy those next kind of tier 4 items, heal up, wait for your ultis to cool down, and then go again. They don't need to wait for a Roshan, but very much they're in a great position regardless. And actually, yeah, they still have the Aegis. Okay, so Burning, Aegis still online for 2 more minutes.
I mean, you mentioned new items. They have a Scotty on the Shadow Fiend, a Lincoln's on the Darkseer, the Aegis still online, as you pointed out. And FY's got 2k gold, so we'll
Burning's
see.
got an MKB as well in 400, so they may even have these. They'll have these big items pickups, or a lot of them, before they even go for that last lane of racks.
Well, Viper does manage to cobble together an AC, but it just feels like we're watching people armed with stones and sticks fighting against those with guns and bombs. Vici Gaming just massively outgunning what Liquid can bring to the table here.
Yeah, this is it. Liquid have to just try and make that last defense. It very much feels like they're defending the Alamo right now. There's just nothing that can be done, as Vici Gaming have just got far superior items. They have got absolutely overwhelming net worth lead with a far better late game lineup.
And they're going to push it. They don't want to go to any later than needed. 41 minutes in. Aegis still online for a minute and a half, just long enough to get to the base and hit some racks.
Yep.
Glyph not available. This will be a tough hold. Liquid, this team has looked so good at points gods. They fell short in the Frankfurt qualifiers. They're not going to be eliminated, but even if they lose this one, but it does feel like whenever they get to the brink of, you know, really punching through, something always seems to stand in their way.
Well, in this case,
this time it's Vici.
Yeah, Vici Gaming, the Burning Gyrocopter has been on point, and they're ready to break this last lane of racks.
Lincoln's up on Super, and he can pop that BKB if he's ever nervous. Burning also has the Lotus Orb, so the counter Shadow Strike on the Mind Control, a little irritating there. They'll continue their siege. They break the Lincolns, but can they do any damage? Burning's MKB now completed. He continues to lay into the tower. Flat Cat's still available. There's the fact. Mind Control will bring back. They commit the wall, but Vici Gaming, as long as they get this racks, they're going to be happy. Burning still holding the edges. The quad ball comes through. He hangs on. He survives. He looks to turn this BKB reserve for round 2 of the fight. And now the curse coming out. Matumba man down. Jerax, Kuroki could be next. They rush forward. Vici Gaming, that call down's on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. They buy back the quap. They try to survive Mind Control. Running, not going to make it up. Fada not so lucky either. It's a wipe with a dieback phrase. No. Slightly denied, but it won't matter. Liquid, in the end, knocked down to the lower bracket. They just couldn't punch through versus Vici.
Yeah, Liquid, very early game centric lineup, and I feel like a few kind of key things missing, like not having a hero to go for that early mech, and they have Viper as well as Necrophos, and very much a lineup that wasn't going to scale well into the late game with Necro and Viper as your kind of 2 main cores. A Quap offlane, a hero that can scale well if you're free farming and snowballing, but you're never expecting your offlane and Mind Control to snowball in a Quap. So I feel like mech was a key item that they just needed to get on one of their 2 core heroes. And even with a huge laning advantage, Vici Gaming just play patient, wait for their openings, and they do just fine. They're through the winner bracket.
Not the smoothest run for this star-studded roster, but here they are. So with that, guys, we'll hand it back to the panel. They're going to wrap up the game, the day, and get you ready for the playoffs, which will start tomorrow. Thanks for watching. LD and GoDz signing off.
Thank you so much, David and Dave. We're back at the panel, of course, with David and Winter. And, well, there you have it. Vici Gaming going to be taking over. And Liquid, how the mighty have fallen. Coming into day 2, top of their group. Now they're in the lower bracket.
Whew. Reminds me of Frankfurt Major all over again. Remember they won their entire group? I don't think they dropped a single.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Then they...
I'm telling you, they're not clutch.
Well, they're very clutch now because they have to fight through this
Yeah,
best
but
of
it's
one lower bracket.
kind of like not fair at the same time because it's a BO1, you know, anything can happen. It's not a full series, you know. You have a bad game and
Okay, all I'm saying is,
happens.
like, to us, this is their last proving ground, right? They're not going to the major. Like,
Yeah.
we need to see Team Liquid rise from the ashes. So we'll
Yeah.
see if that's possible tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, let's just dissect a bit about what actually happened in that matchup. Was it just basically Vici Gaming so on point? 3 different fights, vacuum call down,
Team fight.
team fight Dota.
And the lack of team fight on the other side. Because if you
Yeah.
think, what was their initiation? You had a Viper, you had a Necrophos, and
Single
you had a
target.
Queen of Pain. Like, who starts the fight? I guess your best.
They have to win their lanes though. Like their lineup is built around winning the lanes and then use the advantage that you win from
They
the
won-
lanes
they-
to
they
actually
did
win.
pretty good.
Shadow Fiend got wrecked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Super got
but the other
beat
lanes
bad.
they didn't really win the other
Quap
lanes.
got a first blood on, or not a first blood, got a kill on Gyro.
Yeah, they didn't like destroy the lanes like totally. They were like it was okay. They got a good they got a lead, but not big enough for their lineup.
Yeah, not enough to shut out Vici
Yeah.
Gaming. They still had enough potential. Huge props to Daryl. Have to call him Daryl because he keeps changing his frickin' name in these games. But
Ice who?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Daryl.
forgot him already. But man, that guy had some crazy good vacuum walls, great setups. So with that said, we have a playoff bracket for tomorrow. We're going to have an audience and everything. The lights are going crazy. This place is getting hyped. So let me break down the bracket for you here. Got it in front of my face. I don't think they have a graphic for it, so I'll just verbalize it here for you. Starting at the top of the bracket here, we're going to have virtus.pro, who came out on top of their group. They're going to be going toe-to-toe against Team Secret. So virtus.pro Secret, a match we could see any other tournament, but they get to lead things off there. This now means that eHome are going to be going against Vici Gaming. And then down in the best of ones, the scary gauntlet of best of ones, we now have Digital Chaos going to be going against Liquid. Ooh, sorry, DC. That might be a bit of a tough one right there.
If DC beats Team Liquid,
that would be a Cinderella story. I would love to see them somehow
a
muscle
BO1.
their way back in.
yeah,
BO1.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
I put money on DC.
The final lower bracket matchup, LGD versus CDEC. Who'd have thought the second and third place TI finishers at the lower bracket here?
TI's a long time ago, man.
Yeah. It's like 3 metas ago.
More than 3 minutes ago.
Crazy stuff. So all this playoff action is going to be happening tomorrow here. It's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. As you can tell with all the crazy light effects, things are evolving before your eyes. It should be super hype. I'm looking forward to it. We're all looking hype for it right here. Let's go ahead and just send it home right now. Check out all the replays. Check out all the action. You'll see it online. And we'll be back tomorrow for more Dota action. See you soon.
Someone to whom I could relate.